We'll start with the Irish Times, and they go with the headline, "Drama at the Death," as Ronaldo inflicts the cruelest penalty at a Sidlow, and his piece there, Juventus' incredible fight back falters in the last minute as Real Madrid survive. You can see Michael Oliver there being accosted by the gentlemanly Gianluigi Buffon after that penalty was awarded. The Irish Examiner, meanwhile, goes with the same thing, and it's the pun of the day, really, I think. Oliver twist. Referee Michael Oliver awards last-minute penalty as Real escape to victory. You can see inset Cristiano Ronaldo about to slam that one home. While on the back of the Irish Daily Mail, they're also going with the same story. Ref Oliver in red riot. There's Pete Jensen in Madrid saying it's not often a dramatic finale involving Real Madrid sees Cristiano Ronaldo upstaged, but upstaged he was in terms of the things we want to remember it by.
No. Everyone's going to remember the penalty. It was like a perfectly scripted Cristiano Ronaldo drama. It's like, tell you what we'll do, I'll score one of the greatest goals in the history of mankind in the away leg with an overhead bicycle kick. Everybody will remember that. Then my teammates will screw it up so badly that it looks like we're going out until I step forward and calmly slot the second latest goal in the history of the Champions League with a penalty, which allows me, because I know I'm going to be grand in terms of bookings for the rest of the tournament, to get this out. Look at this. Look at every sinew strained to make sure that the photographs the next day are of his like 12, 14, 18, 22 pack, whatever that is.
It's
somebody drew a picture of one of the Harry Potter characters from his nipples. That were the eyes. The sorting hat, and then kind of the V. The V above, like underneath there. It's like you can just kind of see that. I don't even know what the sorting hat is, but like there's the face, the flexed, whatever the top two bits of your six pack. I mean, obviously, as I said, he's got a 22 pack. The nipples are the eyes, and then there's kind of like you can see the nose forming there.
Yeah. I'm sure there's many people out there who would want to have been sorted into Slytherin so they could slither into his DMs. On the back of
I don't get the reference to that. What happens between Slytherin and the sorting hat? Is there like a...
not really at all. That's kind of like a really weird spin-off of Harry Potter right there, where Slytherin and the sorting hat just get into some sort of strange relationship.
Shenanigans, what are they like? What are they?
Slytherin is a house in Hogwarts, and the sorting hat determines which house you get sorted into. So you've got a 1 in 4 chance of being sorted into Slytherin.
Okay.
And you missed my pun completely, I think.
Slithering into DMs.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It was just really bad.
No, it's better not to draw attention to it.
Oh yeah, but
that's how it works.
You asked the follow-up questions, so it's kind of hard not to.
Oh yeah, okay, but like, I mean, go on. The
back of the Irish Daily Star, there is Ronaldo there again with a sorting hat in his chest. Oliver twist. Chaotic ending at Bernabeu. Chaotic indeed. It was a mental end to proceedings there. And finally, for the time being, on the back of the Sun, it is "You've blown it." Ronaldo's late penalty ruins comeback. And there's a really, I'm not sure if we can bring it on screen there, it's a really awkward hug there, kind of from behind. Is that Marco Asensio trying to hug Cristiano Ronaldo, and Ronaldo's just like, no, I'm too busy tensing, stop hugging me. Which I would do the same thing if I was Cristiano Ronaldo, to be quite honest.
Well, you got it out a lot though, right? Like there are a lot of pictures of, that it does look a bit, I'd say they were looking for those pictures. So the Times Ireland edition is where I'm going to start here. Bank of Ireland reviews Ulster sponsorship after rugby rape trial. This is a really interesting story from Ellen Coyne, their senior Ireland reporter. A spokeswoman for Bank of Ireland confirmed to the Times yesterday that it had spoken to the club. It is of paramount importance to Bank of Ireland that our sponsorship activity aligns with and supports our core values and reflects positively on Bank of Ireland through association. We understand that an internal review is underway at Ulster Rugby. We expect this review to be robust, to fully address the issues raised, and that decisions will be taken and policies and protocols to be put in place that fully address the issues that have arisen. So the sponsorship deal with Bank of Ireland and Kingspan combined is worth $4.5 million. That was in 2015 when that deal was signed. I don't know if that's $4.5 million between 2015 and now, or if it's $4.5 million a year. I would suspect it's $4.5 million between 2015 and now, but that's interesting because that's the type of pressure. You can have all the letters in the Belfast Telegraph and you can have all the online petitions that you want, but it's hard for clubs to take that on board as anything other than, oh, that's happening over there. But when your sponsors ring you up and say, can't be having this, what's this? Then all of a sudden it's like, well, this is an immediate impact on my bottom line. So Now, obviously, that goes against what Willie John McBride was saying yesterday on Sean O'Rourke's radio show when he said that the players should be allowed to play. Let the duo play rugby. McBride says that's the Backpage lead on the Times Ireland edition. And then Guardiola accused of abusive rant. UEFA act over shut your mouth to official, second charge for coaching from the stands. How much coaching was he doing from the stands, really? I mean, that was the whole point. Guardiola, wasn't on the phone, was getting a few messages, not really talking. As you were saying, when they would go down the few steps, maybe that would have looked like they were coaching from the stands, but so...
Yeah, well, it wasn't very subtle, though. The camera literally got the coach at the top of the steps, kind of like going, psst, psst, Pep, Pep. Pep kind of turning around, and I'm not sure was he shouting back and not pretending not to see him.
Cierra la boca. Shut your mouth. Look at it on the TV. It's a goal and it's a penalty. Shut your mouth. It's a goal. That's what he said at half-time. I
can see why he's saying shut your mouth. That referee does strike me as a particularly arrogant man. And he probably just rubs Pep Guardiola up the wrong way. That when Pep is speaking to the referee, he wants you to be silent. He wants you to hear what he has to say. And then maybe you can send him off if you think he's being rude. But I think...
I'm Pep. I'm talking.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're not listening to me.
Yeah.
This relationship seems to have gone in a bad direction here. You're speaking and I'm speaking, but I was speaking first. I feel like we're not communicating on the right level here.
I wonder how many times has Pep just gone... A lot, I suspect.
Pep plotting spending spree is the back of the Irish Independent sports section today. 3 new players to take a spending to 600 million sterling. And look, there's a bunch of players. Thomas Lemar at Monaco, they want to sign him for 90 million. Julian Weigl of Dortmund, Shakhtar Donetsk, Frej, Jorginho at Napoli, Jean-Michel Seri. I'd say there's about 600 players that Man City have on their radar at the minute, and at some point they'll sign some of them.
Lionel Messi? Is he one of those people?
I don't think so.
He probably wants to stay in the jurisdiction of Spain at this point.
Or not, no?
Well, he might have sussed the system, no?
Oh, maybe, okay. And then Dublin to launch the title defence in Tullamore Port East. That's where the Dubs are going to be playing football in this year's championship. Golden Boot. See what they did? They don't think it's a good idea to give Harry Kane the goal that he didn't score. This was interesting. So Harry Kane obviously appealed. The goal against Stoke wasn't given to him.
Yes.
I swear on my daughter's life I touched the ball.
Yeah. I know.
A bit serious.
A bit serious. It shows that this thing isn't really a joke. It's not a kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. He really cares about this golden boot.
You see the way that a lot of those contracts have accelerators, you know. You win the European Footballer of the Year, like Cristiano Ronaldo's like, yeah, I'm going to do that and I'm going to get an extra 5 million from you guys because I know how many shirt sales you'll get off the back of it. And maybe Harry Kane has some kind of accelerant in his contract. Maybe Spurs... Nathan was making the point in the office yesterday that Spurs need to sell all those season tickets at Wembley. They need to sell tickets for the new stadium. They need to have the top scorer in the Premier League again. He's miles behind Mohamed Salah. It's like, maybe, you know, the casual football fan will like, oh, I'll go to Liverpool instead.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. It's a very interesting development in terms of the Premier League, that we have this sort of individual statistic-based sideshow to take us through the end of the season. There's a very similar thing going on in the NBA at the moment when it comes to the Rookie of the Year face-off, where there's 2 particular guys using the media to go hell for leather at each other in a tongue-in-cheek manner, I suspect.
But
it's still a huge, it's a huge talking point in an 82-game season. The Premier League has similarly petered out into a point like the basketball season often does, where the end of the season doesn't matter one jot. But we have a news cycle that's coming out around an individual statistic-based thing. So I'm all for it. I think it's great that they care about these individual things, because people are lying if they don't care about their individual statistics for the reasons that you mentioned there, because you can cash in if you score more goals. It's as simple as that.
Well, Mohamed Salah, very pissed off. Whoa, really? And then there was a great thing in The Sun where they kind of typed out the tweets, and it was like they talked about an animation as opposed to a GIF, because you'd have to explain to the Sun readers what a GIF was. Or maybe, I don't know. Anyway, all of the Liverpool players were out. Even Jamie Vardy was out going, hang on a second, what's the crack here? But it is interesting that England's Harry Kane is up against Egypt's Mo Salah, and Harry Kane gets the nod from England's Premier League ruling elite. But he swore on his daughter's life, so it definitely happened. And then Mo Money. John Aldridge wants Mo Money from Mohamed Salah. I'm like, he's right. give him all the cash, give it to him now, give it to him before the Real Madrid's and Barcelona money starts to come, and you're like, shit, we waited too long.
Yeah, it makes a fair point. Let's show you the back page of the Irish News, or the front page of the Irish News sports section. I think they're going with Ronaldo, they're going with Celtic, they're going with Dublin. Keeping Dublin at bay is impossible. That's Cara Kane's column. But, no, it's not. That's Joe Kernan. Cara Kane speaking to Kernan. The championship can still be competitive, he says, but keeping them at bay impossible. Celtic can seal the title at Easter Road, and there is the man of the hour, Cristiano Ronaldo, and inset Gianluigi Buffon, which is the same headlines really in the two main titles from the UK this morning. The Guardian saying Ronaldo saves Madrid with late penalty. Real were rescued from a shock exit and dramatic finish at the Bernabeu after Juventus had wiped out a 3-0 first leg deficit. And escape to victory reads the headline at the front of the Daily Telegraph sports section. Ronaldo to rescue with late penalty after Italians stunned Spanish giants to level tie.